Reflector, good morning. Yes, you did have music playing. Totally illegal music playing in the background. Good morning, everybody. This is Dick, WB2JPQ, for the May 1st Friday edition of the East Coast Reflector Morning Brew. Try to make it memory lane today. I'm here with Jeff, KE0GKS. Mark is in here, KE2EDS. Scott, N7FGP. Bill, N2BH. Steven's here, K2EJ. Vicky's on assignment, but she's in the Zoom room mobile with us, so the gang's all here. We're just spread all over the country. Our question today, tried to keep it a yes or a no, and sometimes it's tough on memory lane. Did you ever record on a cassette player? Did you make your own recordings on a cassette player? We used to call that mixtape, which was so much harder to do than it is today with technology that we have. So we'll talk about cassettes this morning. Did you ever record songs on a cassette player or make your own mixtape is our question. And it kind of can be a yes or no, but there's always talk that goes along with memory lane questions. And you know you needed a pencil eraser if you had a cassette. For those of you, always had to have a pencil in the car with you for the eraser to fix the tapes and get things back lined up and back. So you will certainly remember. There will be a second cup today. I think Jeff and I are going to split it today with Vicky off. Get Jeff in here. Scott and 7FGP is going to log second cup with logging morning brew. We got 24 check-ins here ready this morning. We got Roy from Blaisdell, as always. We got Randall. We got Armin from Florida. We got Lou from Lake Worth. Mark from Port St. Lucie. Paul from Lake Worth. Joe's here from Deerfield Beach. Bob's here from Jupiter, Florida. Ed from Waxahachie. I never do quite say that right. Ed, you're going to have to help me out. Zachary's here from St. Cloud. Mark is here from Elma, like I mentioned earlier. Gary, K4HBT is with us. Charlie from Sun City. Charles from Syracuse, New York. Wayne from Belmore. Carrie's joining us. I guess it would be on her afternoon. From Scotland, good afternoon to you, Carrie. Clark is here from Phoenix, Arizona. Claremont. Greg from Oakland Park. VA3GLJ. Let me just scroll up here. Mark from Plymouth is here, and 0CKV, who's got his M1KE Sound and Super. Our friend Chuck from Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Duck is here from Lake City. And WB8ODF, home of the SNH Green Stamps, Ypsilanti, Michigan. How about mobiles this morning? We'll be back to you guys in just a minute. Who do we have going to work, play, or school this morning? Mobile stations only, call signs twice. This is Dick, WB2JPQ.
Alpha Alpha 5, Juliet Whiskey Mobile. Alpha Alpha 5, Juliet Whiskey Mobile. Kilo Echo 2, Charlie Echo 2, Charlie Kilo.
KJ5, MLZ, Kilo Julia 5, Mike Lima, Zulu, Mobile.
WB8BHL, Mobile, UAM, WB8BHL, Mobile. And yes on the cassette. I'm going to grab it here this morning. We got some severe train wrecks right off the bat. Good morning to you, Ed. We got you, W8BHL in Orlando. Our friend Ed. We got Ezra, KJ5MLZ. We got Matt, KC2CCK. And we got James. Everybody else was just a blur in here, so try to break them up. If you previously called in, let's do it this way. If you previously called in with this block of 5 and I did not recognize you, try it again so we can get you people first. If you tried to call in with this block of 5, try again now, please. Remember,
Mike Papa Echo, N3 MPE. In and out. Whiskey 8 Sierra Tango Juliet, Whiskey 8 Sierra Tango Juliet, in and out. Good morning. Echo 3 Tango Go, whatever. Echo 3 Tango Go, 10 window, Ontario, Canada. Kilo Papa Mike, Kilo Papa 1, Kilo Papa Mike, in and out. We're back to in and out. Kilo Delta 6, Delta India Quebec, KD6 DIQ, in and out. Really only wanted mobiles, but we got Todd 6 DIQ in and out this morning. We got Art, West Haven, Connecticut, PB1K PM. We got you. We got Tim. I don't think you're mobile, but we'll let you slide in here, Tim. B3TGN. We got Steve, Mr. Hills, Michigan, Sam, N3MPE. And then there was somebody on Echolink that said they were in and out as well, and we missed that. The Echolink station that said they were in and out. Go ahead. KQ4 UAM, KQ4 UAM, in and out, mobile. AM, we got you. All right, let's work some of these mobiles. I don't know where that noise is coming in from. Fort Lauderdale, that kind of noisy. Might have to take that one off this morning. How about you, James? Why don't you start us out, AA5JW. You were out on top of the pack and over the top of it. But once again, our question, have you ever recorded songs on a cassette player? We used to call them mixed tapes. So that's our question. Back to our cassette days. Good morning. Well, good morning, Dick and Bill. Thank y'all for running that this morning. And good morning, Brew Crew. This is Alpha 5 Julie. Whiskey Mobile, James is running mobile into Houston for work today. It is a rainy, nasty outside, and it's just going to do that all day, and hopefully we don't flood. So everybody remember, turn around, don't drown. To the question at hand, yes, I have absolutely made mixtapes. I grew up doing it. I remember trying to record stuff off the radio. You'd call in, you'd request the song, and then you'd sit there with your finger on the recorder waiting for them to play it in hopes that you could hit the button fast enough to not miss the intro. With that, I'll say 7-3. Back to Brew. Bless. Stay safe out there. This is Alpha 5 Julie. Whiskey Mobile will be monitoring. Thanks, James, for starting us off, and I think we all did that. Good morning to Matt, KE2CCK.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning to everybody on the net this morning. Yes. And my question exactly, who didn't? We all did that when we were younger. Yeah, there was multiples. But yeah, you don't really see that much anymore with the modern technology. But everybody have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. From KE2CCK, back to net control.
Have a nice day, Matt. Let's move on to Ezra, KJ5MLZ. Good morning.
KJ5MC, good morning, Dick, the rest of the crew. I'm going to say yes. I remember that you had to, some of the tapes had to come up with two little square holes on top of the tape for it to record. Yeah, that's what I remember about that. Back to you, net control. Hope everyone have a great day and a great weekend. KJ5, MLZ.
All right, thank you. Let me see if my friend Ed, BHL can come in and say good morning. Ed, are you there? I know you called in and out, but you got a minute to say good morning? Dick, good morning to everybody on the net. Yep, I did the same thing with the cassettes. I had to get one of those adapters that stuck in the 8-track player, and then you played the cassette on the end of it when the big change happened there in my old car. But did a lot of that, had a lot of fun with it. Back up to you. Have a great weekend, WB2JPQ, WB8BHL. Well, it's good to talk to you. How about Sam, N3MPE? Good morning.
Good morning, Dick. I remember those years very, very well, and it brings back fond memories, but I used to get so irritated with my first 1968, or maybe it was 67, and I remember I got so frustrated with carbon zinc batteries, because they only would last like 2 hours, because I'd be on it relentlessly, and it would always, I just would always run out of gas at the most important time to record my favorite television commercial. This is N3MP, Louisville, Texas. Good day.
Yes, sir. Let me go to Tim in Windsor, Ontario, V3TGN.
I got controller. I guess the these on the phone. I just take them in, and then do you mind using the over?
Did you ask about Vicky? Yeah, she's on assignment this morning. She's on the road. She's actually in the Zoom room here with us on the road, but she is on assignment. Thanks, Tim. Have a nice day. Let me go to Art. Art is mobile. My apologies, Art. You were, well, I guess all of these were mobile. Art, West Haven, Connect. KB1 KPM. Good morning, Art.
KPM, Art West Haven. Yeah, just put down no for me. Back to the net.
Down a no for you. Okay, Art. My friend Todd was in and out this morning, along with Kevin on KQ4UAM. Good morning to both of you. Let me go up to the top, work a few of these text check-ins, and then we'll come back and do some radio check-ins and work from there. Roy in Blaisdell. Good morning, KA8BYU.
Oh, good morning, Dick, and everybody on the brew. KA8BYU. Yeah, I'm sold. I even did that on 3-inch reel-to-reel before cassette tapes and that. Both of them. KA8BYU, back to you.
Yeah. I had a big reel-to-reel recorder here when I started playing in repeaters in 1970. I used to log everything. I had a big reel-to-reel recorder that was COR activated with tubes, by the way, and a big stove that would start the recorder, and you could hear it pretty much, well, you could hear it throughout the basement. I think if the house was quiet, you could hear that solo light kick in all the way upstairs. Good morning to our friend Randall, K8UFM.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Bill, and good morning to the rest of the brew crew. No, never did any mix. With that said, this is KAUFM, back to net control, and everyone have an outstanding weekend and an even a better Friday. Said that backwards.
It all comes out, all gets mixed the same, Randall. We all do that. And I guess I mentioned it, but we will be just going to split the second cup with me today. So we ought to have some fun and have some cool answers on the second cup at 9 o'clock here on East Coast time. Armand, Miami, Florida. Good morning again.
Good morning, everyone, on the This is Armand in Miami, W4AEB, and thank you, Dick and Vicky, for the QSOs this morning, as well as everybody else I spoke to earlier. Yes, I did use the recording, and prior to that, I had a solid-state reel-to-reel Radio Shack on one of those things back in the 60s. But not for a yes. This is W4AEB, 7-3 to everyone. Back to net control.
Did Vicky's log yesterday, on last night. I think she was at 105 QSOs on the Quest, so she has really been giving points out. It's quite an achievement, 105, a lot of points. How about Mark, WC3W, Port St. Lucie?
I was going to pick it up since you skipped over me. I think Mark can't make it today. This is KA4 EPS. Yes, good morning, Dick. And I will tell you that I still have every one of my cassette tapes, over 200 of them. Not only that, cassette recorder, by the way, not player. By the way, I also had a very rare one of 8-track recorder as well, so I used to mess with that as well. So back to you, Dick, and thanks for doing that, KA4 EPS.
So, yeah, I scrolled up. I saw you just as I turned it over to Mark. Let me make sure Mark's not there. WC3W. Mark, are you with us? Sorry about that. Huntsville, Alabama. Then they write me and say, why is my node disconnected every day? Every day that guy comes on and sits on that microphone. I don't think it's just because the microphone's sitting on the seat. I think it's intentional. So we will leave him up for a while. Paul wasn't there. Mark wasn't there this morning. Let's go up to Paul in Lakewood. Good morning, KQ4GOQ.
Good morning, and good morning to the morning crew. Yeah, of course, copied the music onto my cassette player and used to listen to it. Back to the net. This is KG4GOQ in Palm Springs, Florida.
Thank you, Paul. How about Joe in Deerfield Beach? Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Dick, and the rest of the Brew crew. Absolutely, I did. What kind of red-blooded American male hasn't done the tape to get his girl in the mood? You know? I mean, Dick, I know you've done it too. So, of course, we've done that. Everyone have a great day. This is M3SQR. Thank you, Dick.
Shirley Hicks sets back in my era. Thanks, Joe. How about Bob in Jupiter, Florida, KA4RAK? Bob?
Good morning. Yes, of course. I used to make a lot of tapes. I'd record them off the radio, and it was really a lot of fun. I'd block out the commercials. I'd stop it when the commercial was coming on. So have a good morning, everybody, and a good weekend coming up. KA4RAK.
Thanks, Bob. You have a nice weekend, everybody. K4POI. Good morning, Ed.
Dick, it's his Brew Crew. I can't imagine anybody. I don't know anybody who didn't do those. Who didn't make those It was such a hot thing back then. Okay, back to the next paper POI.
Right, Ed, it was the thing to do, wasn't it? Zachary in St. Cloud. Good morning, Zachary.
Good morning, Dick, Jeff, Bill, and the Brew Crew. Put me down for a yes. That was something I took seriously as a young teenager, and I remember telling my little sister, do not touch my cassette player. Anyway, everyone, have a great weekend. 7-3, back to you. AI6 KQO.
You sounded serious. Leave my cassettes alone. Thanks, Zachary. Mark, good morning, KE2ETS.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Brew Crew. It's a definite yes for me. I had a dual cassette tape player recorder and did it for many, many years. Have a great day, a great weekend. KE2EDS.
Mark, have a nice weekend. Gary, K4HBT.
Good morning, Dick and the Brew Crew. I wouldn't even want to hazard a guess how many I copied. Yeah, later on CDs and DVDs, same thing. K4HBT, back to net control.
Almost went to jail for copyright, did we? Thanks, Gary. Sun City, Florida. Good morning, Charlie.
Hi, good morning, Dick. Everybody on the net, Bertie and I here in Tampa Bay. 76 already this morning. It's going to be a great day. Response to the question, yes. I have recorded on the cassette and other forms of media. Prior to leaving New York, the wife and I had a little DJ business on the side. We used to do quite well. We used to call cartoons. C-A-R, like Charlie and Roberta, which is my wife's given name. So, did quite well. Had a lot of fun with it. Thanks for what you do. WB2JPQNH will be back to that.
Know a little bit more about you and your wife, Bertie, here. Thanks for sharing that with us this morning. Charles in Syracuse, KD2YUY. Charles in Syracuse, New York, KD2YUY. Are you still listening? Info Mark in and out. Bill, good morning. KC2NJV.
Good morning, Dick and the rest of the crew. KC2NJV here. Yes, I've made audio cassette tapes when I was younger, and we also had a reel-to-reel, so we did that as well. Have yourselves a nice weekend.
Well, Wayne, enjoy the weekend. 3 in Scotland, good afternoon, GM5CAR.
ICER returning. Good morning, Dick. Good morning, everybody on the Brew Crew. I hope everybody's well. And in answer to today's question, the answer is yes. Quite often in my younger years as a kid, I really enjoyed making up music cassettes, especially when the top 40 music charts were on a Sunday evening. We used to, pause for the adverts so that you could have the latest tracks and have a compilation for the week ahead to put on. What we used to call a big cassette player was the Ghetto Blaster back then. So yeah, absolutely brings back fond memories. But thanks for letting us check in there, Dick, and I wish everybody a good weekend ahead here. Take care, everyone. 73, back to net control.
We'll have to give you an extra point this morning for mentioning Ghetto Blaster. I haven't heard that for a while. Thank you, Carrie. Thanks for having fun with us here this morning. Phoenix, Arizona, KK7DY, morning.
Good morning, Dick, Bill, and the rest of the Brew crew. Yes, I did record songs on a cassette player. Back to net control, KK7DY.
Clark, Joe in Claremont. Good morning, Joe.
Hey, good morning, Dick, and good morning to the crew. You put me down for a solid yes. For personal enjoyment, sure. Did all, made mixtapes like everybody else, but I'm also your second DJ who used mixtapes in their business, like an A2B. Used to do that all the time. Hey, everybody, have a great Friday, great weekend. We'll talk again next week. It's KM4WZD. Back to net.
Another DJ. Didn't know that, Joe. Good for you. Oakland Park, Florida, K4MMX. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. The answer is yes. When I was a little kid, I used to record stuff off the radio, and then in the mid-'80s, it was copying vinyl to cassette. And one thing I do remember is the pencil never quite worked. It was too skinny. The big, clear pens was just the right size to turn the reels. K4MMX, back to net.
Right, well, here I thought a number 2 pencil was sold with cassette. That's what I always use. VA3GLJ, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Dick, and good morning to the Brew crew. Currently 30 degrees Fahrenheit or 1 degree Celsius with snow, May 1st and Christmas 12th. Answer to your question is yes, to hound the local DJ for requests and record them onto a cassette. Everybody have a great Friday and an awesome weekend. 73, VA3G.
Thank you for sharing that. Right. Mark, good morning, N0CKV.
Morning, Dick. Bill. Can't remember the other name, but everybody else on the Brew crew and everybody else on the net, yes. Answer to the question. Everybody have a great Friday and a great weekend. N0CKV, back to net.
Your M1K really sounds nice. Got that baby percolating nice. Good morning to Duck in Lake City, Florida, KK4DUK.
This is KK4DUK. Apologies for the transmission issues. The answer is definitely yes. I first used cassette to record TV shows off of TV as a little kid, and then upgraded to reel-to-reel, and yes, I DJ'd and recorded. I record mixtapes, actual DJ scratching, mixing to tons of customers. So I am very familiar with cassette. Ways, I hate that the cassette went away. This is KK4DUK. This is Doug turning it back over to Net Control 73.
Doug, and you might want to turn your outbound audio down just a little bit. Distorted on voice peaks. Other than that, you would sound good. And Chuck in Newcastle, I watched right over you. W3CVE, good morning.
Yes, in fact, I got a box full of cassettes down there on the shelf now. That I was able to record and learn code long time ago. Okay, have a great day and a great weekend, Dick. W3CVE.
I'm not sure. The cassettes weren't out when I learned the code, but reel-to-reel tapes, and thank God for W1AW. That was kind of was my salvation. And they're still doing it today. Dave, W8ODF, good morning.
Good morning, Dick, and Bill doing all the typing, and Jeff patiently waiting for the top of the hour. This is Dave, WB8ODF in Ypsilanti, Eastern Michigan. And being in the radio industry for over a decade, yes, I've recorded on everything that you could possibly record on. That wasn't top secret military stuff. But thanks, put me down for a yes, Bill. WB8ODF.
Well, thank you, Dave, and good morning, everyone. This is Scott, N7FGP. I'm going to go through some text check-ins, and then we will get some radio check-ins. So I want to thank Greg in Quarryville, Pennsylvania. We have Stephen in Easton, Pennsylvania. We have Bill in South Georgia, Michael in Farmington Hills, Michigan, Dan in Sterling Heights, Michigan, Daryl in Lubbock, Texas, Fernando in Leesburg, Florida, Jason in my old stomping ground, Eugene, Oregon, Jose in Austin, Texas, Elmer in Allen Park, Michigan, Hannah in Beaver, Pennsylvania, Guy in Harvey, Louisiana, Vince in Fort Lauderdale, John in South St. Paul, Minnesota, and Kenneth in the Villages. So let's get some radio check-in here. If you would like to check into the Morning Brew, just need your call sign twice and slowly call now.
OMH, W7.
K04IHM. K04IHM. WHWGR. Kilo Juliet 5. Whiskey Golf Romeo.
Niner Tango Bravo Delta.
November
K9 TBD.
November Bravo 9 Delta. NB90.
3 Yankee Bravo Sierra. Kilo Charlie 3 Lima Alpha Victor. Kilo Charlie 3 Lima Alpha Victor.
KJ4ZSM. KJ4ZSM Mobile.
Kilo Charlie 1.
Kilo 9
X-ray
Juliet Sierra K9TJ.
Kilo Charlie 1 Whiskey X-ray Papa.
Alright, let me pick it up here. Let's see, we had a few missed. K9, let's see, first of all we have K9TJ Thomas. KC, I think it was KC1 Whiskey X-ray Papa, is that correct? Let's try that station again. KC1 Whiskey X-ray Papa, is that the correct call sign?
Affirmative.
Alright, we have KC1 Whiskey X-ray Papa. We have Brian KJ4ZFN. We have Mike in Lettuce. KC3LAV, we have Bill in Dunville, VA3 YBS. We have Neil in B9D. We have Joel, K9TVD. We have Walter, KJ5WGR. Bill, W8WHK. Donald, KO4IHM. Mike, who is mobile, W7OMH. Let's get to our mobile station right now. Mike in Wading River, New York, W7OMH. Mike, did you ever record songs on our cassette recorder? Over to you.
Yes, good morning. W7OMH. Yeah, I did. That and reel to reel that I was not.
Right, Mike. Well, you're a little scratchy into the repeater there, but we got you down with a yes. Thank you for checking in this morning, and you have a great day. All right. Let's get up to the top of these text check-ins and go to Greg in Quarryville, Pennsylvania, KB3EYR. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Scott, Bill, Jeff, everybody on the Brew Crew this morning. This is KB3EYR, and affirmative to the question. Did that many times by young, and I think I probably still have a few of those stashed away somewhere. Have a great day, great weekend. Back to net control.
Right, Greg. Thank you for checking in, and we have you down with a yes. Was to record the King Biscuit Flower Hour. All right, let's go to Stephen in Easton, Pennsylvania, WB3I. Let me try that again. WB3ILA. Morning, Stephen.
Friday morning, everyone else. Yes, that's a definite yes. In fact, that was third generation. Started with a portable reel-to-reel, 8-track recorder, and then eventually cassette. So everybody have a great weekend. WB3LA, turning it back to next.
Yes, Stephen. I did the same thing. Reel-to-reel, cassette, or 8-track and cassette. All right, thanks for checking in this morning. Let's go to Bill in Woodstock, Georgia, KI4EGQ. Good morning, Bill.
Well, good morning, Dick and all the Brew Crew. Yes, I had a pretty good library of cassette tapes, and but finally, I think it was about 15 years ago, I was able to sell my 2-cassette recorder and on eBay. I just didn't have a use for it anymore, but fond memories. Everybody have a great weekend. KI4EGQ.
All right, Bill, we've got you down with a yes. Thanks for checking in. Michael in Farmington Hills, Michigan, KF8EBV. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, the Brew Crew, and of course I did. In fact, I take audio cables out of the external speaker, run them into the input, so I didn't have to use the microphone. And now my wife has that app on her phone that actually lets you listen to a song on the radio and tells you what it is and gives you the lyrics. Just thanks for running that. Have a wonderful weekend. Back to you, KFADBD.
Things come a long way since we started doing that recording on the cassette. All right, thank you, Michael. Let's move on down to Dan in Sterling Heights, Michigan, WA8PGV. Good morning, Dan.
Morning, Jeff. This is WA8PGV. Yes, I did back in the day. And you know what? Cassette tapes are not dead. Some big name artists are releasing new music on cassettes right now. So it'd be interesting to listen to one of those. Back to WA8PGV.
All right, Dan. Thanks for checking in this morning. Move to Daryl in Lubbock, Texas. KC5CZX. Good.
Yeah, good morning to everybody on the brew, and yes, I am guilty of that for sure. So back to that KC5CZX.
Right, Daryl. We got down as a yes. This is Scott in 7FGP in Jamestown, New York, and let's see if Fernando in Leesburg, Florida is out there. KR4KVL. Good morning, Fernando.
Good morning, Scott, and everyone on the Blue Crew. Will be down is a definite yes. Sure did record plenty of music on cassette tapes. Wishing everybody a good day and a great weekend. 73 Soul. Back to Net Control. This is KR4KVL.
Right, Fernando, I've got you down with yes. And let's head on over to Jason in Eugene, Oregon. KD9MGW. Good morning, Jason.
KD9MGW. That's going to be a no from me. By the time I was doing all that stuff, everything was... thank you. Back to that, KD9MGW.
Jason, I thought that might have been the case there. Thank you for checking in, and you have a great day. Jose in Austin, Texas. KJ5MEL. Good morning, Jose.
Good morning to everybody. God bless you all. Yes, I am very guilty of that. Tapes for mom, tapes for dad, and especially for my older brother. Lots of tapes. KJ5MEL in Austin.
Yes, all right. I remember those packs of 90-minute and 20-minute tapes. All right, thanks, Jose. Let's move on down to Elmer in Allen Park, Michigan. KB5NJU. Good morning, Elmer. Try Elmer one more time in Allen Park, Michigan. KB5NJU. Good, Elmer. All right, well, we're going to mark Elmer as an in and out, and we're going to move on over to Anna in Beaver, Pennsylvania. KD3AJN. Good morning, Anna. Well, let's try Anna one more time there. KD3AJN. Good morning. Moving on down the list, we have Guy in Harvey, Louisiana, KJ5GUY. Good morning, Guy.
Morning, Brew Crew and Net Control, everybody. That's checked in this morning. Thank you for taking my call. One is KJ5GUY, Guy in Harvey, Louisiana. Answer to this question, yes. You mark me down for yes for that, for the cassettes and all that. And, man, I tell you, the thing, the mythical thing to try and get the best cassette tape for audio playback. I think I remember my brand, I think it used to be PASF, for cassette tapes for recording stuff.
Anyway, back to you, Net Control, and thank you for taking the call again. Everybody have a great Friday morning and a weekend. KJ5 Golf Uniform Yankee, Sam Beaumontin, and Lazy Liverpool State.
All right, guy. Yeah, I remember trying to get the best quality tape out there. For checking in, and let's move on down to Vince in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, KR4EMM. Good morning, Vince.
Good morning, Scott. Everybody on the Brewers Club. And definitely, yes, a lot of hours recording from the radio, and now I pay a monthly fee to Apple to have that privilege. So, yeah, love music, and everybody have a great Friday, good weekend, and be safe. This is KR4. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Vince, I've got you down with a yes, and we have come a long ways, haven't we? Let's try John in South St. Paul, Minnesota, KB0GUF. Good morning.
Good morning. Coach on the Brew Crew this morning. This is John, KB0GUF. Your questions bring back fond memories. I spent many a time copying tapes, trying to edit the commercials and doing all that sort of thing. I had a blast. Thanks again for having me. KB0GUF. Clear.
All right, John. Yeah, I remember being paused there with my finger on the pause button, ready to off as soon as they stopped. I hated it when they talked over. All right, Kenneth in the Villages, AB4 KT. Good morning, Kenneth.
Morning, everybody. AB4 KT, Ken in the Village, Florida. Yeah, I used to record my albums onto cassette tape to listen to in the car on my Sony Walkman. I had a Harman Kardon and a Techniques turntable. And that, everybody have a great day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about the Sony Walkman there. All right, thanks for checking in, Ken. Let's move to Don in Roseboro, North Carolina, KO4RIHM. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Scott, and everyone on the Brew Crew. Yep, we did order cassette tapes, and still have some of them. Hope everybody has a great weekend.
All right, Don, we have you down as a yes. Thanks for checking in, and have a great day. Bill in North Fort Myers, Florida, WHK. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning. It's 68 degrees here in Southwest Florida. Sun shining. Beautiful morning. I remember those days. I just used to record them and listen to all that music. Argue with my sister because she wanted to use the tape player or tape recorder, and I had it, and oh boy. And I still run into some of those tapes laying around. I got them in totes. And I really enjoyed cassette tapes. That was good. And as I said, I think they're still around. Okay, back to you. 7-3. Everybody have a great weekend. This is W8 and WHK. Back to Net Control.
All right, Bill. Well, we've warmed up to a balmy 36 degrees, and I remember fighting with my sister over the tape recorder, too. All right, thanks for checking in, and have a great day. Let's try Walter in Houston, Texas, KJ5WGR. Good morning, Walter.
Good morning, everyone. It's going to be a wet, rainy day in Houston, but should be sunny tomorrow for the club's Fox hunt.
Yes, I used to make a lot of cassette tape recordings off of the radio. Everyone have a great day. Back to net control. Walter, I heard you had some in down there. Hopefully it clears up for you. Joel in Easton, Pennsylvania, K9 TBD. Good morning, Joel.
Morning, all. Good to hear you this morning. Yes, indeed, I did a lot of cassette recording. In fact, I recorded my own piano album back in the 80s. It was not until COVID that I able to transcribe it back to digital. And I worked with magnetic particles for both VHS and cassette. So I know quite a bit about it. And I was the guy that was instrumental in measuring the quality parts made, which went into the various tapes. Q and back to net, Easton, PA.
Right, Joel, a little scratch coming into the repeater. We got most of it, though, and that is very cool. Thanks for checking in today, and have a great day. Let's move to Neil in Bedford, New Hampshire, NB9. Good morning, Neil.
Hey, good morning, everybody. On the brew, this is number Bravo 9 Delta, Neil in Bedford, New Hampshire, and our special event call sign for today will be DJ. Did that correctly? We most certainly had made mixtapes back in the day, had a ghetto blaster, and all that. Yeah, a lot of fun. Thanks for listening to what we have to say, and good day, everybody. November Bravo 9 Delta. Thank you.
All right, Neil, we've got you down with a yes. Thanks for being out there and checking in this morning. Let's go to Bill in Dunnville, Ontario, VA3. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Scott, and everybody on the brew crew this morning. Oh, yeah, I used to make my own mixtapes. I think I still have a drawer full of them somewhere if I was to look in the right place. Anyway, good question this morning. Thanks for doing that, Scott. This is VA3, YBS. Back to you.
All right, Bill, we've got you down as a yes. Thanks for being out there and checking in this morning. Try Mike in Lititz, Pennsylvania, E3LAV. Good morning, Mike.
Yes, sir, and a fine, beautiful good morning. This is Kilo Charlie 3, Lima Alpha Victor, Mike in Warwick Township, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Beautiful Amish country, bright sunny days, 47 degrees here, and we most certainly did that cassette tape recording like everyone's saying. It's great hearing all these stories. King Biscuit Flower Hour was a necessity. KC3LAV, back to net. Thank you. We're clear.
Oh, Mike, absolutely. That was my favorite to record. All right, thank you for checking in this morning, and have a great day. Let's move on to Florida, and out there, KJ4ZFM. Good morning, Robert.
Oh, I know Dick was over there just anxiously waiting to hear from Robert. I come into the Zoom room, that's one of my pictures that I put up with me DJing. I happen to be a DJ, an old LL Cool J DJ at the moment. And I still do, yes, I do still use cassette tape. Actually getting ready to send one over into Japan. Hopefully my nephew is over there doing an album and I can get a song in on his album. Thank you very much. Everyone have a blessed day. KJ4ZFM.
All right, Robert, thank you for checking in this morning, and have a great day. In Manchester, New Hampshire, KC1 XP. Good morning, Chris. morning, everyone. Scott and all the Brew crew, of course. Hopefully, I'm not having too much packet loss. I have interesting event here today. Here in New London, New Hampshire, actually. That's where I am right now. But that's where I would normally be based. Manchester is my normal base. Anyway, I'm not sure too much mixtaping, but I know someone who currently is not a hale who does all the time. Kayla Sturgill in Houston. Yeah, another Houstonian. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Well, Houston area anyway, in Pearland. Anyway, you have a great day and a great weekend. And 7-3 to all. But I haven't done much. But I've used to play with and break cassettes all the time. So I guess probably a no for the mixtapes because I haven't done much of that. But yeah, I know what they are because I used to play with and break cassettes, and I know someone who does all the time. So you have a good one. 7-3 to all. KC1 WXP. The General Chris Stuffley in Manchester, New Hampshire. Well, New London. Anyway, have a good day. 7-3 to all and a great weekend. 7-3 all.
All right, Chris, I think I got that. Thank you for checking in, and you have a great day today. Let's try Thomas in Margate, Florida. K9 TJS. Good morning, Thomas. K9 TJS, are you still out there? Right, we're going to mark Thomas as an in and out, and let me acknowledge some text check-ins, see if we call for some more radio check-ins. We have Sal, Chick-to-Up, we have Charles in Beaumont, North Carolina, David in Houston, Texas, Bob in Ecorse, Michigan. We have Joe in Franklin, Georgia, Randy, one of our team members in West Seneca. We have Richard in Sumter, South Carolina, Alton in Midlothian, Virginia, Michigan, Hampstead, Maryland, Al, and my partner on Tuesdays in Michigan. Have Mike in Sebring, Florida. We have Gary in Woodhaven, Michigan. Bob in Leesburg, Florida. Greg in Purvis, Mississippi, I think. Jeff in Rochester Hills, Michigan, and Bob in Hamburg, New York. Well, let's take some radio check-ins before we throw it over to Jeff. So if you're out there and would like to check into the Morning Brew this morning, now's your chance. Just need your call sign twice and slowly. Call now.
Whiskey Bravo 4, Romeo Oscar, November. Whiskey Bravo 4, Romeo Oscar, November. W2, CJM, W2, CJM, in and out.
Uniform Victor, Quebec.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Echo Golf Oscar. Kilo Foxtrot 8, Echo Golf Oscar, in and out.
Kilo Charlie 3, Foxtrot South Delta. Kilo Charlie 3, Foxtrot South Delta.
Kilo Charlie
November 4,
Uniform
Bravo Echo
Victor,
X-ray,
Quebec.
Mobile. November 4, Bravo Echo X-ray,
Victor,
Mobile.
Quebec.
Whiskey 1, Sierra Sierra. Whiskey 1, Sierra Sierra.
Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Golf Juliet 7. Romeo, get it right. In and out.
Kilo Charlie 2, Uniform Victor.
Quebec. Kilo 2, uniform, Quebec.
Zero X-ray.
3, Kilo Tango Juliet, to Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Tango Juliet, in and out.
Okay, I think I've got the reflector down. Yeah, good morning, everyone. This is Jeff, KE0GKF. I'm located in Omaha, Nebraska. Starting out with a frost warning this morning, but we're going to get in the mid-60s, just under 70. Sunny day out there, though. W5MHG, we added you to the log. I mentioned it. I saw you trying to come in through the hub monitor, but didn't hear you, so I added you, Mark. VA3KTJ, Jimstick, you were an IO this morning. Have a good weekend. KC2UBQ, Phil. KO4MMK, Jeff, you were an IO this morning as well. Have a great weekend. W1SS, Michael, N4BEX, Rebecca, and Ray, KC3FGD. We all had all the others, I think, announced. Oh, no, there's a few more here. KC3FGD Ray, W2PUT Dan, W2CJM Charles, and WB4RON Ron. All the text check-ins were called off beforehand, so let's get to the top of the list. Sal in Cheektowaga, New York, W2SAL, we're talking about cassette. Did you ever record songs on a cassette player? Good morning, Sal.
Morning, Jeff, Scott, and the rest of the crew out there. Let me pose it this way. As a DJ, what would you think? I was a bar DJ, and I definitely probably did a couple hundred cassette tapes for our off nights. So with that, I'll send it back to Net Control, W2SAL. Hopefully I'll see you guys tonight on the Usenet. We're clear.
Well, being an audiophile all my life, I have lots to talk about, but I'll keep it short here. Let's go to Charles in Belmont, North Carolina, KR4AEG. KR4AEG, are you still with us, Charles? Charles will be in and out this morning. Let's go to David in Houston, W5DBS. Good morning.
Great big Texas howdy to you there, Jeff. Recorded many of those cassette tapes. And as I look over here in the rack, I've got a cassette recorder sitting beside my VHS recorder and all the other stuff that I used to call hi-fi a long time ago. I appreciate what you do. It's W5DBS in Houston, Texas. Back to the net.
All righty, sounds good. My name's Jeff, KE0GCAP with Bill on the log, 2BH. Vicky is out on assignment. There will be a second cup next hour with Dick and myself. So, and Scott will be on the log helping us out on the second cup. So stick around and stay connected. Let's go to Bob in Ecorse, Michigan. KQ8U. Good morning, Bob.
Morning, Jeff, and the rest of the crew. I used to do a lot of them. In fact, I looked in the basement. I probably still got a whole stack of them, cassette, along with a couple other ones with this regular music. Still 100 of them with regular music on it. Every good day I'll be in a second cup. KQ8U, best net.
1 7/8 inches per second. IPS was the speed, just short of 2 inches per second was the going speed for cassette tape. Let's go to Joe in Franklin, Georgia, KQ4YYN.
Good morning, good morning. This is KQ4 YYN. I have an idol. Well, I've got several idols over here. Well, not that I worship them, don't get me wrong, but I like the way that N5RTC talks, so I'll try to imitate him a little bit. This is KQ4 YYN. Yes, I've done all the aforementioned things that other people have spoken about, including ink pens, not ink pens. Ink pens sometimes if you had to rewind the cassette tape, if you got stuff or if a lot of tape came out and you had to work it out of your player. Scotch tape over the ends to re-record over pre-recorded tape. And good morning to everyone. This is Q4 YYN, so the answer is yes. I think it is. That's what it is, yes. Absolutely enjoyed it, every minute of it. KQ4 YYN, back to you, sir.
Alrighty, Joe. Yeah, I worked in audio stores back in the day of cassettes, Maxell, TDK, BASF. Those were your sought-after cassettes manufacturers. Have a good day. Randy in West Seneca, New York, W2RBC.
Jeff, Bill, and everyone on the Morning Brew. Yes, I did. I used to put my favorite songs on cassettes for my Sony Walkman. That was sure a long time ago. Back to Neck Control, 73 to all, W2RBC.
Yeah, the C90 cassette was 45 minutes a side, 90-minute tape. We'd always put one album on it and you have extra tape, filling in with extra songs, to be efficient. Have a good one, Randy. Richard in Sumter, South Carolina, N4 RSM.
I had briefcases of cassettes that I recorded. I would take a vinyl album, and the first time I played it, I would record a cassette on a JVC recorder. And I always thought it was high quality using Maxell tapes. I don't know. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Japan Victor Corporation, JVC. Absolutely, Richard. Have a good one. Alton, KA4, JAZ.
Good morning, Jeff and Bill and the other brewers on the net this morning. Yes, the answer is yes. And I wanted to throw something in here. I don't know who remembers a Z81, Z71, where you use the cassette your data when you program your PC. So yeah, I recorded data, PC, and music, of course. Control, KA4JAZ.
Oh boy, the cassette load. Sit there for 45 minutes and wait for the world's smallest program to load. Yeah, back on cassette days, loading data. Yeah, have a good one, Alton. Michael, N3VGB, good morning. N3VGB, Michael, you still with us? Give him a few extra seconds there, but we'll put him in as an IO this morning. Let's go to Al, one of the part of the team here at the East Coast Reflector, K8BA in Britain, Michigan. Good morning, Al.
Good morning, Jeff. Everybody on the brew crew. Simple answer, yes. I still have a high Pioneer dual cassette player, and one of the local radio stations used to do live shows every Saturday night and Sunday night repeat, and a bunch of really cool live shows. But yeah, those were good times. It's no longer part of the lineup on my audio stuff. So back to you, KBAC.
I had the ID there. All right, Al. Yeah, us audiophile guys back in the day, we went to VHS, hi-fi. It had to be hi-fi. Had actual better audio specifications, frequency response, etc., etc., than a cassette tape. So we were recording our music to VHS hi-fi back in the day before the advent of digital. Have a good one, Al. Mike in Sebring, Florida, KB2, UDB.
Good morning, Jeff, Bill, Dick, and everybody else in the Zoom room, and those out there listening. I'm going to say yes. I still have the portable tape player with one that's sit on the desk to record with, and I also have the Walkman and several cassette tapes laying around. Ones that I made up as those that I bought. So the answer is yes. Thanks for doing that. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. KB2, UDB, back your way.
What made a company, Dolby, what they are, was Dolby noise reduction, and it was on cassette tape. You recorded and it boosts the high frequencies, and when you played back, brought the high frequencies back down to where they're supposed to be, and the tape hiss dropped. Dolby noise reduction. Let's go to Gary, N8ZFH.
Good morning, Jeff, Scott, Dick, Vicky, and the crew. And yeah, that would be a yes for me. I've still got dozens of albums that have only been played once to put on cassette. Also, there was DNR, dynamic noise reduction, and I was able to get some preliminary chips for that. It's a sliding low pass, so when there wasn't a lot of high frequency, you would back off the filter, and it would reduce the tape hiss. Anyway, ZFH back to that. Hope everybody has a great weekend.
I remember dynamic noise reduction very well, Gary. Yes, a competitor to Dolby NR noise reduction. Have a good one. Bob in Leesburg, W3ICQ.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you this morning? Yeah, we definitely had every type of recording device you could think of, including the cassette. Back to you, W3ICQ.
One thing I didn't like about analog tape, if the tape got off the head out of alignment slightly, the whole high frequencies would go down. It'd be crazy if you were just slightly off alignment with your tape head. It drove me crazy. I always wanted it to be perfect. Have a good one, Bob. Greg, KJ5LJJ. On the hub monitor, I see that's you trying to get in, Greg, but you're not making it. We'll try it again. KJ5LJJ. Well, Greg, if you're on the receive side, you're off the PTT there, and you're listening, try again some other time here, or maybe later in the net if you can get to a better location. You know the drill. Let's go to Jeff, KE8SMN.
Good morning, Jeff. This is KE8SMN. Big yes for me. A lot of fun back in the day with those tapes. KE8SMN, back to net.
We had different formulations of tape. We had normal bias, we had chromium dioxide bias, and we had metal bias. Metal was, I don't know, I liked chromium dioxide the best. Gave the best frequencies. Chromium dioxide. Have a good one. Let's go to KC2JZE. Bob, good morning. Have a All right, Bob, you're snowy on the signal there, but we got it all. You have a good weekend. Ron in Niagara Falls, WB4, win.
Jeff and everybody else on the brew. That's going to be a yes, actually. We started recording with Reel to Reel back in the day. So the answer is yes, and we're going to give a toss to right. Busy day out there. WB4, and have a great day.
Definitely Reel to Reel for sure was a competitor. It was faster. It delivers 7.5 inches per second, and the whole idea is getting the tape going the fastest you can for the best fidelity. Charles, W2CJM. W2CJM, going once, going twice. Charles. Charles will be an in and out for now. One of part of the team here at the Coast Reflector, W2PUT. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Jeff. Yes, as a teen in the 80s, of course I recorded songs on cassette, frequently off the air on the FM radio with the cassette deck that was integrated into the boombox. You're always trying to catch it so that you didn't catch the DJ talking on the front or the back of it, or accidentally get part of a commercial into it. I still have a couple of fresh, never used, still in the wrapper cassettes out on the shelf in the garage. I'll never use them, but kind of keep them around for posterity's sake. Back to you, W2PUT.
All righty, Dan. Yeah, back in the day, like you might have heard before, I worked in an audio store, sold audio. We got a lot of our tapes for free, and while working, we'd all bring our albums in and record each other's albums on a stereo system in the stereo store. Have a good one, Dan. Ray KC3 FGD.
Hey, good morning, Jeff. Everyone on the brew. Beautiful morning here in Lancaster County, PA, home of the community. Oh, yeah, I copied a lot of music out of the radio station in New York City back in the 80s on the cassettes, and I think they were the chrome units. Not sure. I even have those. I still have those, and I also have a few brand new ones in the original wrappers. So, hey, with that being said, everyone have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. Back to Jeff at Tech Control.
Yep, Ray, that's all I ran on blank cassettes was chromium dioxide. Superior fidelity over the normal bias. Have a good one. Rebecca, N4BEX.
Good morning, Jeff at the Brew Crew. This is Rebecca, November 4 Bravo Echo X-Ray out of Rosemark, Tennessee. Not only did we record the songs off the radio, and whenever the kids, as we were children, would get together out in the recess or lunch break or whatever, we would hold our recorders up to each other and record songs off of each other. So, great audio quality there. But it was all we had, so we were happy with it. Thanks for calling the net today, Jeff. This is 7:30 to everybody. This is N4BEX. Back to net control.
Yep. Times have changed. Now I have on my audio system what's called a streamer, and it samples 5 times the speed of CD players, 5 times the quality of the CD quality. Amazing. We've come a long way. Michael, W1SS.
This is W1SS, beautiful day here, beautiful beach, hold me down for a yes. I used to have an 8-track tape in my vehicle, and I switched over to a different unit for cassettes, and I brought back memories. I have a case, a little leather case that held all the cassettes and stuff like that in my vehicle, and it's all gone now. A different day. So 73 to all, and have a great day. This is W1SS.
All right, Michael. Sounds good. Thanks for coming in on the side, and that hooks up with us in the morning. Let's go to Phil, KC2UVQ.
On the morning brew, guilty is charged. KC2, thank you.
ID again there. All righty, Phil. Sounds good. You have yourself a good weekend. Stick around for the second cup if you can, too. It's 21 minutes past the hour, and again, at the top of the hour is the second cup. Dick, myself, and Scott will be on the log, so stick around. Stay connected. Mark in Albuquerque, New Mexico. W5MHG. I saw you come on the monitor but didn't hear you. I'm taking a stab at it, Mark. I'm guessing you're out there this morning. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. You caught me off guard. W5MHG. Gracie says, bow wow, yippee-yi-yay. What's the question?
Oh, no problem, Mark. Did you ever record songs on a cassette player? Tapes? Any of that stuff? Cassette tapes? Blank cassettes? Record?
Oh, yes, many times. Even when I was teaching band. Absolutely. And on CDs and DVDs. Hey, thanks for picking me up. We did it old school. W5MHG, we got rain in the desert. And we love that text line, even though we didn't use it today. W5MHG, Hand of Enchantment. 3.
All righty, Mark. Have a good one. Yeah, sometimes we use the same tape over and over again. We kind of the quality, but they had what's called an erase head right before the record head. That would erase everything on it. Let's go to Mike. NAHLN. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jeff and everyone. Happy Friday. Answer to the question is yes, I've make a few in the day and always had a few pencils handy on the side. Everyone have a great weekend. Back to that, HLN.
All righty, Mike. Have a good one. Frank, KC2, JPQ.
Mr. Fun Button, and how you doing, Jeff? Yes, I did do the cassette recordings, and I also still have a double dubbing deck, so that hasn't been used in quite a while. But anyhow, I hear you got frost warnings out there, or whatever. We had frost advisory last, so I don't think we got any frost. I'm not sure. But anyhow, have a great day. I'll send it back to the net. Have a great weekend, Jeff. KC2JPQ.
All righty, Frank. Yeah, it's still coming across my node, frost advisory, so we're still under it, but it'll warm up today. It's sunny out there. Have a good one, Frank. Gil, part of the team. K4GDS, over to you. Push the fun button. Gil, good morning. Try you again. K4GDS. couple extra seconds for Gil. He can check back in. Charles, KD2YUI, looks like you're rechecking here. Got you this time, Charles. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm making it in this time. Good morning, Jeff, Bill, and Dick. Everybody else listening in. The X-Whale and I were just laughing about this yesterday. There was a meme that we came across, a girl with a determined face trying to get the beginning of the song.
I remember Dr. Demento, yes. Now you're making me think of Art Bell. You know, Art Bell was a ham operator. He's talking to crazy people through the night. Have a good one, Charles. Roger, KO4QMM, good morning.
Good morning, Jeff and the Brew Crew. Happy Fun Button Friday. And you can put me down for a yes. What used to drive me crazy is when the disc jockeys, there'd be a new song on, and the disc jockeys would, it was the beginning of the song. Oh, that would kill me. Back to you, Jeff. KO4QMM here.
Yeah, and they would talk right up to where the vocal came in. You know, they know right where it's going to come in. They're going to talk right till that first word of the lyrics comes in. Yeah, they did the whole intro they talk over. I remember that. Have a good one, Roger. Lewis, KJ5AXC.
Good morning, crew. I did, copy stuff onto cassette. Matter of fact, I think one of the very first things I ever recorded was the Apollo landing on the moon from the TV on cassette. Other than that, just fun. 85AXC back to net.
Alrighty, Lewis. Yeah, that's cool. If you still have that, especially, that sounds pretty neat. Jim, NW4Q. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff. Answer yes, and I still have equipment. I have a lot of the tapes too. Take care.
Jim, have yourself a fine weekend, sir. Thanks for stopping by. Kevin, good morning. KFAJQ in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Morning, Jeff. Morning, Bill. Everybody on the net this morning. Yes, like a lot of guys, I started out with a portable reel-to-reel and then moved on up to the cassettes. And I actually got to the point to where I could line out from the stereo to the direct connection into the cassette player, big time. KF8DJQ, back to net.
Oh yeah, line out and line in was the only way to go to get good quality. You wouldn't throw a microphone out in the middle of the room and record it. It'd sound terrible. Have a good one. Greg, KJ5LJJ.
Hey, good morning, Brew Crew. The answer to the question is yes. I did used to record on a reel and enjoy it. Still enjoy it today. If I could find one. This is Greg, KJ5LJJ, back to you, net control.
Alrighty, Greg, you have a good one. Boy, we had a record number of text check-ins, which is great. I think we got most of them wrapped up here. I got them done. Joe just came in by the text line right there. Let's add to that with some radio check-ins. Twice and slowly if you can for Bill and Scott log.
Hello, Quebec 4, Oscar, Romeo Kilo, KQ4, ORK in the mobile.
Echo, Beta, Pompano Beach, in the mobile.
My name here is Chris, Washington, Ohio.
Kilo 4, Delta India Yankee. Kilo 4, Delta India Yankee.
Kilo Alpha 5, Papa Uniform Delta. Kilo Alpha 5, Papa Uniform Delta.
Charlie, November 3, Mike Delta Charlie.
CRF pedestrian mobile.
GS Kilo Alpha 5, Golf Sierra.
Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie.
November 4, Kilo Hotel Zulu, Alpha 4 kilohertz.
5, Nancy.
Kilo Romeo 4, India X-ray Oscar. Kilo Romeo 4, India X-ray Oscar. In and out.
November 5, Golf India, and 5 GI.
November 1, Whiskey Echo Bravo, N1 WEB.
2 SSX, Whiskey 2 Sierra X-ray.
Kilo Juliet Delta X-ray Bravo in and out. Kilo Juliet 5 Delta X-ray in and out. Good morning.
2 VW Victor Echo 2 Victor Alpha Whiskey.
Victor Oscar 1 Kilo Juliet Mike. Victor Oscar 1 Kilo Juliet Mike. No traffic. 7-3. Good morning.
In case I got KD2IWN, KD2IWN.
Okay, looks like I've got the reflector. I'm going to take care of the IOs right now. VO1 KJM, Kenny, you were an IO this morning. Thanks for stopping by. Frank, KJ5DXB in Sugarland, Texas. Weekend, KR4IXO. Ed, you do the same. N4KHZ. John, you are also an IO. That takes care of the IOs on this list. Moving up the log, KD2IWN, VE2VAW, W2SSX, N1WEB, N5GI, WD8PIC, KA5GSS. Shane, you're going to be one of the first up. Hang tight. VA3CRF, N3MDC, KA5PUD, KK4 DIY, KQ4 ORK Barry, you're immobile, you're going to be the first. And K2AP at the top of the list, who have been waiting by the text line there. We also added at the bottom of the list, KE2AJO just came in, and KD2IWN, I think I announced to you, but I'll just again there anyway. Let's go to Barry, who's mobile in Apopka, Florida. KQ4ORK Barry, the question of the day is, and for everyone on this list, did you ever record songs on a cassette player? Good morning, Barry. Over to you.
Good morning, Jeff, and everybody. Happy Friday. I hope everybody's day is off to a good start. Most definitely did cassettes, and prior to cassettes, had a nice TAC 4-track. Used to do the same way. Hope everybody has a great weekend. 73, back to net control, KQ4, ORK in the mobile.
Yeah, I had a few different cassette recorders for sure. Realistic was one of my favorites. Techniques was also another one of my favorites. TAC, definitely remember him well. That's a good one, Barry. Let's go to Shane KA5GSS. You're our lucky 100th check-in of the day, too, Shane. Good morning.
This is KA5GSS. Did I win a prize? Of course. I've done quite a few recordings on cassette tapes back in the day. I don't even think I own any anymore, honestly. I wouldn't have nothing to play them on. I'm going to enjoy my rainy day and play a little radio. Everybody have a good day. KA5GSS. Back to Net Control. 7-3, everybody.
Yeah, you do win a prize, Shane. I extended your lifetime membership to a double lifetime membership. That's a $486,000 value. Good morning. Let's go to the top of the list here. Let's go to Joe in East Islip, New York. Good morning, Joe. K2AP.
Good morning, Jeff, and good morning to the Brew Crew. Yes, I would say definitely yes. And you might be interested in knowing, Jeff, I have an old deck that I used to use. I still have it, of course. Professional quality, they say. The thing was huge, TX deck. And I connected it to my Marantz 2240. So have a great day, everybody. 2AP, back to net.
Oh, very cool. Huge tape transports. Boy, they overbuilt stuff back then, and Marantz is definitely sought after in the vintage world, for sure. Have a good one. Gene in Homosassa, Florida, KK4DIY.
Good morning. This is KK4DIY, Gene in Homosassa, and the answer is yes. And then even before that, did reel-to-reel recording, and that was a great way to spread music around. Back to you, my friend, KK4DIY.
Feeding the tape through the tape transport, looping it up to the right reel. Fun stuff. Have a good one. Paul in Montgomery, Texas, KA5PUD.
Good morning to the crew. Answer is yes. In fact, I still do have a record, and I used to use cassettes for learning the code back in the early 80s. So back to KA5P.
Very cool, Paul. Have yourself a great weekend, sir. Over to Michael, N3MDC. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff. Jeff, no, I didn't. I didn't really do any recording of cassette. Only people who did that was my brother and my sister. I didn't really do any recording of that, but like I said, my brother and my sister did, but I didn't. Back to you, Jeff. N3MDC.
All righty, Michael. Have a good one. I'm Jeff, KE0GKF with Bill on the log, N2BH. The second cup will be coming up here in about 20-21 minutes, so stick around. Vern, VA3CRF. Good morning.
Good morning, Al and Bill Logging and everybody on the net. Thanks for picking me up. Yep, out for a walk, like you guys. Frost advisory last night. I didn't see any this morning, but hey, come on, man. It's May already. Cassette tapes, definitely use them to record music. I also use them for short transmission. And a couple of my recordings are when they honored my request for a song or wrote in a letter. One of my favorite shows used to be on the BBC called Jolly Good Show. Anyway, I hope everyone has a nice day and a wonderful weekend. VA3CRF.
Okay, that wasn't me. I was off Bill said you're all noise, but I was off the key and still heard that myself. I don't know where that was coming from. Hopefully I'm coming through now. Okay. Yeah, Vern, you remember summer isn't for another couple. Yeah, June 21st. Really, almost 2 months. It's the first day of May. Bob, WDA-PIC, good morning.
Good morning. And I want to say good morning to Chris also. I heard him in there too, FAS. I don't know if you heard him or not, but he is in there. FAS. Anyway, yes, I did. My mom didn't get a CD player until almost 95 and 2000, so she had tons. I used the real good quality cassettes, and I had a super expensive dual cassette deck, and I spent lots of time doing that, and I'd do it all over again. I loved it. Being able to bless her like that. Back to net control, WD8PIC.
Alrighty, Bob. Yeah, then we went to the digital recording disc, and that was all the craze. And we have music streaming services now. Nobody even messes with that stuff pretty much anymore. Have a good one. N5GI Rick in the Villages, Florida. Good morning.
And everybody on the Brew Crew, great Friday morning here in the Villages. N5GI, back to net. Have a good weekend.
KJ5LJJ was coming in with some noise. We got him disconnected, but we got it. Rick, have a good one. Web, N1WEB.
Thank you, Jeff. And put me down as a yes. I remember recording songs on a cassette player, but I also remember burning CDs. That was a lot of fun, too. N1WEB, back to the net. Everybody have a great weekend.
Yeah, and then we realized those were dust collectors, too. Now we just stream, Web? Have a good one. Richard, W2SXSSX. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Jeff, and good morning to the crew. I have dozens of cassettes that I use on my Sony cassette player that I recorded back in the 70s when I was in school. Lots of them. In fact, I have to go back and see which ones I would like to keep. But anyway, thank you for doing the net. This is W2SSX.
Alrighty, Richard. Have yourself a fine weekend. Renee, VE2VAW, heading up to Canada.
Good morning, Jeff. It's 4 degrees Celsius here. It's cold a little bit this morning, but the sun is come. No, I don't record the song on cassette. No, I don't bother with that. I just listen to FM radio. That's okay for me for the music. 73, our station send me from Granby, Quebec, Canada, 60 miles east of Montreal. 73, thank you for the mic, Jeff.
No problem, Renee. Thanks for pushing the fun button this morning. Tim in Hamburg, New York, KD2IWN. Over to you.
Well, good morning, Jeff, and all the guys helping them along this morning. It's definitely not probably easy. Well, I'll tell you what, you struck something near and dear to my heart. So for all of you guys that are in front of a laptop, you can Google Panasonic RQ-711F. the RQ711S. That was my first cassette player in the 70s when I was a kid, and that was all it took. Next thing you know, I had the Columbia House collection. We recorded everything off the radio. We had our own little show we made and created it. We used to tape record, had the suction cup thing for on the back of a phone. We record phone calls. I still have the cassette. I still have the little carry case with my cassette. I listen to them. I've gone to flea markets and I bought a cassette player. I think it functions. I buy it. You have to have a dual cassette technique. I'll expand more on the second stuff, but totally 100% yes. 73, 82, IWN.
The RQ711S, called the Take and Tape, a portable that recorded in mono. Yes, not stereo. Have a good morning. Jose in Bronx, New York, KE2AJO. Good. Jose, going once, going twice, KE2AJO. You still with us, Jose? Few extra seconds there for Jose. We'll put him in as an IO for now. Stephen, and some more texts are coming in here. Fayetteville, North Carolina, KR4IVL. Stephen. You still out there, KR4IVL.
Okay, who is you?
Nothing from Stephen. Let's move down the list to Leo in Fort Lauderdale, K4ITA. Leo, what say you?
Good morning. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Bill. I hope you can hear me well. I am an answer today. And good morning from Fort Lauderdale. I see Carlos, so I leave the weather to him. See you soon, Carlos. And the answer is yes. I was recording from AM radio to a stereo cassette. Can you imagine that, Jeff? It was a lot of fun. I still have the cassette, all those cassettes. Great weekend, K4ITA.
All righty, Leo. Have a good day in the Sunshine State. Carlos in the Sunshine State, Hollywood, Florida, and 1 CBM.
Morning, Jeff, and everybody else in the ECR. This South Florida game coming one after the other. 76 sunrise here in the greater Fort Lauderdale area. Beautiful day. Great Friday for everyone. And thanks, Leo. I'll see you soon. Of course, I remember recording my cassettes initially the speaker to the microphone. The quality was awful. But then, when the CD players started discovering a new world of recording, line out into the line in into the cassette recorder, I still have a Sony XR's metal type 4 cassettes. Very nice. So, with that being said, I'm going to send it back to you, Jeff. Everyone have a great weekend and 1CB.
Alrighty, Carlos. Oh yeah, the metal bias tapes, definitely. The whole thing was get that better high frequencies out of there. Have a good one. Chuck, W2EM.
Why, good morning, everyone from New York. I came up the other day, and now it's 39 degrees, and where I left it's 73, so it's all good. Anyway, back to taping. I did tape a couple things as a kid, but put me down for a no. I was a radio man. I listened to radio like mad. And What's amazing is last night at midnight, before midnight, I ordered a bunch of stuff from Amazon, and it came since I texted into the text net, like 4 or 5 minutes ago, it right at the door. That's amazing. Anyway, back to net. Everybody have a great day.
Well, the stars are aligning for you today, Chuck. Everything's going in order. Have a good one. John, and we'll be ready for another round of check-ins after this. N2FYA, good morning.
Yeah, I used to have a Climax Sinclair computer. Used to hook up to a TV, and I had to use my cassette recorder to save and load programs. But then I also had chromium dioxide tapes and used to record like everyone else did off the radio or off my 45 RPM record player. And then I graduated up to a cassette deck. For some reason, I'm thinking it was AIWA, but I'm not sure on that. But it was a stereo record deck, and then I went big time from there. But we had a lot of fun with the cassette decks, and still have a box full of unopened chromium dioxide tapes and albums and everything else you can think of. So that's my experience with the cassette deck. We'll turn it back to Ned. Everyone have a good morning over there and a good weekend ahead. This is N2FYA.
You're after my own heart with those chromium dioxide bias tapes. That was my favorite blank tape, too. I didn't even come up with a question this morning. Audio, can talk about it all day long. Have a good one. We had Bernie and Anthony coming by the text line. We've got 8 minutes to the top of the hour, and the second cup is coming up. So let's go with another round of check-ins right now.
This is Kilo Bravo 8, Papa Victor, KBHELV, Chris, in and out.
Whiskey Bravo 5, India, Tango, Tango, WB5IGT.
W4, in and out, W4, in and out.
Kilo Juliet 5,
CUI, KD3, CUI.
Kilo Juliet 5, November Zulu Alpha.
Zero X-ray Lima Papa Mobile, November 0 X-ray Lima Papa Mobile.
Okay, looks like I've got the reflector. We have a few, I think, to fix up here. N0XLP, Rod Mobile. We had a station KJ5, something in your call. Can you fix that for us? Okay, we'll move on. The station, the last station checked in KD3, question mark. Give us your call.
KD3, CUI.
Okay, Richard, thanks for, I'm glad you heard me because I doubled with KJ5NJA, and I've got you in there too. Another station, that's a question mark, KE2G, something like that. Clear that up for us, would you? Okay. Yeah, your station's a little bit Buddy there, audio is pretty quiet, so when we get back to you, you can belly up to that microphone because you got a lot of path noise. I think it's KE2GWN. We just added Daryl, B1DXN, and Jose, KE2AJO by the text line. Let's move up the list. WB5IDT, KB8, Chris, you were an IO. W2AJB, Anthony, and AA8WI. Be in 4 minutes to the top of the hour. If I missed you, check in on the second cup. Let's go to Bernie, Portland, Ohio, AA8WI. Good morning. It's speed round, Bernie.
Checked in. So, just wanted to get on here and give a number. I know you were talking about cassette tapes, but I don't know exactly what the question was. But yeah, when I was a kid, we used to record songs off the radio on cassette. Technology has certainly changed. Okay, I hope everyone has a great day and a great weekend. I'll turn it to you and wish everyone 7-3. AA8WI.
You got it right, Bernie. That was the question. Did you ever record songs on a cassette player? You got it right. You answered with yes. It's speed round, Anthony, so the quick answer, W2AJB.
W2AJB, I used to go record Frank Sinatra and send him the cassettes. He loved it. W2AJB.
Anthony, I backed up. All righty. We had you in and out of there, Anthony, but we got it. You have a good one. Chris in Beaumont, Texas. Quick answer, Chris, WB5IDT.
Good morning, sir, to the rest of the Morning Brew. Happy Friday to everybody. Yes, I did, especially a radio disc jockey, even recorded, of course, air checks. So that's my answer. I'm into it, WB5IDT.
All righty, Chris. Have yourself a good weekend, sir. Let's go to Eric, KE2GWK. Speed round.
Good morning, everybody. My answer is yes. Everybody have a great weekend.
All righty, Eric. Have a good one. 2-minute warning, Jeremy. Speed round, KJ5NHH. Jeremy going once, going twice, KJ5NHH. Nothing from Jeremy, and moving on down to Richard in Pennsylvania, KD3CIU.
That's KD3CUI. It's yes. Back to next.
All righty, you have a good weekend. And Rodney, I missed you in the mobile. My bad. N0XLP, good morning, Rodney.
N0XLP, yes I did. A couple other thoughts. Adjustable bias, ferrochrome tapes, and don't forget to demagnetize that head.
I had adjustable bias on all my tape decks. Mandatory. Get that high frequencies out of there. And I had the pencil, the degausser, or whatever you called it for the tape head, demagnetize the head. Yeah. Have a good one. Jose in Bronx, New York, E2AJO.
Hey, good morning to everybody on the Morning Brew. This is Charles. Happy Friday. When I was a kid, to record my favorite DJs on the radio stations and whatnot, on tape and things of that nature. I was a kid, and these got phased out pretty quick. Back over to the men, thank you for running that, and good morning to you, and have a great day and weekend to all. 73 from Kilo Echo 2 Alpha to the Alpha.
Howdy, Jose. Daryl in Concord, New Hampshire. WB1DXN, good morning.
Good morning, Bill and Jeff and the rest of the morning crew. I did recording onto a little cassette. I guess that counts as a yes, I'm not sure. Anyway, you all know my mantra, keep safe, WB1DXN.
Alrighty, Daryl, have a good weekend. And wrapping up the net as you run slow on it for us and before we go into the second cup. N0XRG, good morning.
Thank you for having me, N0XRG. Thanks for running that. Yes, absolutely, yes. Yeah, it was a neat part of childhood. I'm crazy about how many of those things, like, where are they all over time? But either way, yeah, it's a good memory. Thanks for bringing it up. N0XRG, back to you.
Alrighty, Ron, thanks for wrapping up the Friday edition of the Morning Brew. Everyone, stick around, stay connected if you can. Keep those all-star nodes, those repeaters connected, because coming up is the second cup. Dick is going to start us out, and I will be sticking around and helping out as well, as Vicky is out on assignment. Bill and Scott are on the log this morning, and we're all having a good time. If you want to join us in the Zoom room, go to the eastcoastreflector.com. Just simply put that in your browser and click, scroll down and click on Zoom room, and you'll join us in the Zoom room. Dick will put about 20 seconds of silence in for students that need to disconnect and connect. Stick around for the second cup. 7-3, everybody. KE0GKF.
Mike Romeo, in Kansas City, Oregon.
Three X-ray.
Good morning, everybody. Again, good morning. This is Dick, WB2JPQ. Along with Jeff, KE0GKF, and Scott, and 7FGP. Going to be doing the second cup here. Like Jeff just said, Vicky's out on assignment this morning. Be back later today. She'll be back, of course, for the youth net tonight. We already got Bob, KQ8U, checked in here via the text line. Bob, it's great to have you back. He was while you were out on your little sabbatical there. A little bit more relaxed than that. We don't ever have a question. We like to hear what's on your mind. So we slow the pace down on Fridays and get ready for the weekend and find out what our users would like to tell us or ask us or whatever the question may be. So let's take some mobiles. Let's take some mobile check-ins. See if we have anybody at the third hour. This is Dick, WB2JPQ.
M0MSS Mobile.
November 0 X-ray Lima Papa Mobile. November 0 X-ray Lima Papa Mobile.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot, VA3, still pedestrian mobile.
K8 BWK, K8 BWK.
Well, we do have people out working. School player whatever today. Good morning to Ben. Good morning again to Vern, the VA3CRF. Rodney. And 0XLP. And 0MSS. I guess you were at the start of the mobiles. We also got Joe, KQ4YYN, the text line. Good morning to you, Russ.
Wappington, North Dakota, N0MSF. What's on your mind this morning, Ross? Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Dick, and everybody on the net. Chilly morning here. It started out about 29, and now it's up to 34. And should be a good day, though. It's going to warm up into the 50s. And I got a few hours of work to do today, but short day because I've got most of my time in already this week. And forward to coming home and maybe working on an antenna. Got a 80-feet dipole, ear wire or cat whiskers, whatever you want to call them. Trying to feed them both on one bellon. And the 80 tuned up fine, a little narrow though. And the 40 seems way off, but I added a couple feet. Didn't change much, so I'm going to add a couple feet more. See if I can bring it in the resonance. That's my day. I hope everybody has a good one. From North Dakota, N0MSS.
Russ, old story, like the old fan dipole, one element, one wire will interact with the other and kind of drive you crazy. But you will get it. It's just persistence, I think, is the name of the game. Rodney, good morning. N0XLP. Tell us a little bit about yourself in South Carolina.
Good morning, everybody. I'm driving from Bluffton, South Carolina to Leeds, Alabama to catch a drag race put on by the Southeast Gassers, which supposedly gives you the same kind of experience you would have had in 1967. Coming to you with a POC radio, which is tied back to my Envy server back at home. I guess that's about it. I appreciate you picking me up. 0XLP back in that control. Thank you.
Sounds like you're going to have a fun night or weekend, whenever this race is. Fits right in here on Memory Lane Friday. You have a good time. Nice to hear you on here. Vern, my gosh, are you still walking around VA3CRF?
Good morning, Dick, and everybody on the net. Yeah, thanks for picking me up. Still out walking. I had a late start this morning, and gosh, I'm pretty sure it was the same conditions down there in the Buffalo area. There was a frost warning here overnight, and when I first stepped out, the temperature was 3. And I'm thinking to myself, come on, it's May already, May 1st. Anyway, it's got to warm up sooner or later. Just really appreciate you guys doing on that. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy checking in. It is an important part of my morning walk. And I was going to mention that yesterday I took the train into Toronto for a colleague's retirement party. And that was a lot of fun to see some familiar faces. But man, there have been a lot of changes in the branch that I worked in. And there were maybe only 3 or 4 people that were there when I was there. And I retired about 7 years ago. One other thing, Dick, I don't know, maybe you've had this done before. I'm getting cataract surgery next week. I'm kind of worried about it. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be. I think it's pretty straightforward now. But the thing that drives me nuts is you're awake while they do it. So we'll see how that goes. It's on Monday. And, yeah, fingers crossed. Dick, as always, thanks for doing it. Love the net. Love all of your net controllers. You're a great group. VA3CRF.
Oh, I have had cataract surgery back, maybe 15, 18 years ago, Vern, and I don't think there's much to it anymore. Bill had it done not too long ago. I remember when the most annoying thing for me was I had to have a patch on afterwards, and you could take that off the next morning, and I couldn't. When I took the patch off, I was in my bathroom, and I wondered, wow, how did these whites get so white all of a sudden? You know, the whites were whiter and blacks were blacker, you know how that goes. But I don't remember, I guess I don't remember being awake, but I don't think you have anything to worry about. Hey, if all else fails, come on in the Zoom room. We'll attempt it. We've tried a lot of surgeries and a lot of things
in the Zoom room. So, hey, if you're game, come on in someday at 3:30, and we'll get our tools out and see what we can do. Vern, thanks for being there and having fun with us in the morning. Ben, KAPWK, good morning.
Good morning, Dick, and everyone on this rainy Friday morning. Well, it's that time of year. Cindy and I are slowly heading east towards Boston for the next 2 weeks. So, going to catch up on a lot of missed radio time on that 2 weeks. So, should be able to check into the Morning Brew every morning while we're gone. You have a good day, Dick. Great weekend as always. We'll chat with you later. I'll be on the radio for the next 6 hours. KAPWK.
Yep, I knew you were going. When you get back, I'm sure we'll get with you, and Dan will be ready to go by then. And so will we here, so that'll be good, Ben. Let me go up to Bob's up here. Yes, Ecorse, Michigan. Via the text line. KQAU. Morning, Bob.
Morning, Dick, and everybody on the net. It's good to be back on the air. Got to get some exercises going on and medication straightened out. I never realized how much I missed having 4 cats climbing all over me all the time, but I got to get that going on. And shout out to the Southeast Gases. I love them guys. I got to get back at it. Have a good day. KQAU, back in that.
Bob, we missed you. When you're not up at the top of the text line, we know something's wrong. Joe, KQ4YYN, good morning. We heard you for a second, Joe. But let me move on to let me go to Duck down here. We'll hang on with you for a minute. Let me move on down to Lake City, Florida, KK4DUK, and I'll come back to you, Joe. You're probably mobile by the sounds of it. Good morning, Duck.
Good morning. This is KK4DUK, Duck out of Lake City, Florida. What's on my mind today? A couple of things, actually. One, honestly, I'm glad to see another day. I didn't sleep too good last night. I tossed and I turned. Was hoping for a good night's sleep. It didn't happen, but hey, like I say, I'm here to see another day. The other thing that's on my mind, I wish that there was a way, at least for me, at my home to be able to get a 60-foot tower at my home, one or more antennas. Right now I'm using a push-up mast, and no, I do not have the ability to scale a tower, but I definitely still think if there was some kind of way I could get a 60-foot tower at my home. Having said those things, that's all I have for today. That's all that's on my mind. 73s to everyone listening in on Pacific Cup. This is KK4DUK, turning it back over to Net Control.
Well, look, I don't know what you got for radio clubs there in Lake City, Florida, but you probably belong to a club. That would be where I'd start to see if they could help you get something up and probably have the real estate to do it, or you wouldn't be talking. So, yeah, let us know the progress of that. Mr. BLT, good morning, Scott.
Hey, good morning, Dick, Jeff, and Scott. Kind of a lazy morning this morning. Got up late and just watching out front. They've been redoing the street out in front of my house. They went through and
ground it and redid the manholes and everything, and I can't believe how fast people will drive down the street on a road that's grouped up, you know, how they mill it. And boy, I tell you, all you hear is the clanking of the stones and rocks and stuff, you know, hitting their cars. And, you know, there's some of them are driving nice cars. Geez, really, don't you care? But other than that, we're going to go out to East Aurora and get a fish fry out there at the Walla Wines. I haven't been out there in years. They took the bowling alleys and turned them into a restaurant. So we'll see how that goes. But everybody have a great day. Good to hear you this morning, Dick. This is W2BLT.
Well, you had told me that those were bowling alleys. I've never was there at that bar, at that restaurant when it was a bowling alley. I've been there. It's a so-called banquet hall. You know. So, yep. We haven't been out there. I do like that fish. It's a heavy basted fish, as I remember, but it's good. And they have some delicious broiled. I've been getting that the last few times we were out there. I haven't been out there in probably a year. But broiled fish with tomatoes, onions, and stuff on top. It's really pretty nice. Thanks, Scott. I'm going to do 3 more here, and I'm going to turn it over to let Jeff say good morning to a few people. Let's go to Chris. AB4KK. Good morning, my friend. Good. Whoop. You turn. Damn. I don't know where that's going from. No. Hold on a second.
Operator error. Now I got rid of the echo. We're doing good, Dick. Good to hear everybody. And good morning to everybody on the second cup. Man, we're going to get on HF and play some today. That's got to be my little thing for the day. I rewired my old FT847 and got it working good on the FT8. So we're going to do what we can do. Worked new countries last night, so we're going to play today. And we got a cloudy day here. They're getting the fires put out. There's all those forest fires that were down here in Georgia are just north of me. And boy, they're kind of getting them under control, I think. We're getting some rain and stuff, so maybe they'll get it finished putting them out. But that's about all I got, Dick. And good to hear y'all. Have a great day. AB4KK, back to net.
Thanks, Chris. Come join the East Coast Reflector Gang tomorrow morning on 40 meters, 7245, 7.245 at 9 o'clock. I think I have that part of the morning free. I haven't been on there for the last 3 or 4 days, so I'm going to try to get down there tomorrow morning. 7245. Come join us. A lot of fun. Morning to Gary, Woodhaven, Michigan, N8ZFH.
Good morning, Dick, and the other second cuppers on there. And I have a question I'm pretty sure you'll be able to answer. Looking at replacing some old 2-meter 440 mobile equipment, hopefully so I can use a radio to get into the repeater in the Detroit area and get on the Morning Brew and Echo Link. But my question is, should I look for a radio with DMR or one of the other digital modes? Or is it not worth it if there's not enough activity? Hope you can help me out there, Dick, N8ZFH. Back to the second cup.
Well, you're kind of asking the wrong guy, Gary. I'm not big on any of the digital modes. I do have DMR. We have a DMR repeater in the area with our talk groups opened up for ECR, but
I'm not. I like the good analog audio, but certainly if you can get a DMR radio, at a good price, it does both. Absolutely. But as far as get into the East Coast Reflector with good analog, you can $130-$40. Some of these little I can't tell you the manufacturer, but dual band mobiles is all you need. But if you get one that's got an interest in DMR, certainly would be the time to do it. So, kind of not the answer that you wanted, Gary, but if you think you're interested in DMR, good way to try it out without spending a whole lot of money. So we can talk sometime about it later. Florin, A5YNU. I see you're in the Zoom room with us this morning as well. Conroe, Texas. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick, Jeff, Scott, everyone in the Zoom room, and the second cup. Sorry I missed the morning brew, but it's downpouring in North Houston. It was a really, really bad rain, and it's still going today. But it's a beautiful weekend coming. We just for the house to get out of the house. We had a really busy week here at work, and I'm heading to Dallas for NASCAR weekend with my son. So he's pretty excited, big fan of NASCAR. With that being said, hopefully I have a blast weekend, and I'll see you Monday. Back to that control, K5YNU.
We're going to need a vacation after all of this. You had a big week. It's kind of unique. We've been in the Zoom room following Florence progress. They're building a 5,000-foot, I think it's 5,000-foot square house in his ballroom at the hotel he manages in Houston. I think he went in and had it built in 2 days, and then there's a couple of days showing and tear it down, and they're on to the next place. So think about that. How long does it take to build a house out in the field? They put it together in 2 days. Completely done, he says. So I can't imagine the size of that ballroom. We're waiting on some pictures to arrive. Before I turn over to Jeff, I want to go up and see if Joe's back with us from Franklin, Georgia. KQ4YAA, KQ4YYN. Joe, are you back?
Yes, sir, and again, I apologize for my audio right there. For the guy that's still listening about the cataract surgery, tell him he'll be fine. Just follow the doctor's direction on putting eye drops in after the surgery. But he'll be fine. And that's all I've got. I'm just carrying some bauxite, not bauxite, kaolin clay. I'm carrying some kaolin clay over to Tuscaloosa to Michelin tire plant. So they put it in tires. But they also make teopectate out of it as well. People actually eat the raw clay, if you will. So that's always something neat. But if you ever take teopectate, that's what you get. Teopectate clay. Back over to you, Mr. Dick. Hope you have a great day. KQ4YYN.
All righty. Sounds good. Motor safely out there. Sounds like you had a lot of road noise. This is Jeff, KE0GKF in Omaha, Nebraska. Filling in for Vicki this morning. She is on assignment this morning. Scott's picking it up on the log, helping us out too as well. Vicki's absence. We had K4ITA, K2AP, and W2EM come in by the text line. Let's add to that list with some good old-fashioned radio check-ins, mobiles, anybody, anywhere. Twice and slowly, please.
New York, 87MR.
Whiskey Bravo 2, go London Whiskey, go London Whiskey. November 2, Mike Lima Bravo. November 2, Mike Lima Bravo.
Kilo 5, Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey, Julia K5, CSW.
Delta 8, Papa, Charlie. Whiskey, Delta 8, Papa, India, Charlie.
November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo. November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo.
Okay, looks like I've got the reflector from the bottom up before RH. WD8 PIC, KJ5 GUY, W1 BIC, K5 CFW, N2 MLB, WB2 GLW, AE7 MR, and I called off the text check-ins already that came in before. Let's go to the top of the list. It's the second cup, Leo, K4ITA. What's on your mind this morning?
Morning. Good morning. Good morning, Jeff. Nice to hear you here too. Good morning, Scott and Dick and everybody. Nice to be in the relaxing second cup. And I'm not happy because I'm on leave of absence. 2 weeks with no HF radio because no time. The business, I can't do HF, no 40-meter net tomorrow and nothing, unfortunately, but hopefully going to get back soon on HF. But I'm happy also because finally after 3 months of bad South Florida winter weather, which is, of course, compared to the north, okay, but not for our standard, finally we got a good week of good weather. Nice to go to the ocean, calm, no wind, everything. Quickly, I can probably help Gary about the DMR. Quality of All-Star analog is, you can beat that, so I love the quality of sound on the net, for instance, of the East Coast reflector is the best. But DMR is very flexible, a lot of activity. I use DMR almost daily to talk with some friends in Italy. And standard radio works very well. It's $70 Baofeng radio on DMR and analog gives you both the options. Everybody, great weekend. This is K488. Back to you, Jeff.
All right, Leo. Remember earlier you were saying in your transmission there that, that you couldn't do your HF because life comes first, for sure. And then radio comes second sometimes. That's the way it works out. Leo, have a good morning. Let's go to Joe, K2AP.
Good morning, Jeff, and good morning, everyone. Well, I have to say, Jeff, I really enjoy your nets and these things about audio. I'm guilty of being an audiophile, too, so I can definitely appreciate it. I'm getting myself involved in it, too. So, great stuff. I was thinking about the old TX deck, which I still have. So, it was a very, very interesting net today. So, have a great day, and this is K2AP, back today.
Well, you and I can head the audiophile net, Joe. Well, let's have that. Have a good one. I could talk for hours, for sure. Chuck, good morning. W2EM, what's on your mind?
Good morning, Jeff, and the rest of the second cuppers here. Oh, it's good to be back home. I got a lot of odds and ends to straighten up here. I'm going to try to get my antennas hooked up, and maybe I'll be able to get on the net tomorrow. Haven't been on that, and didn't have good antennas down in Florida, but I do up here. So we'll see. Got to get out in the backyard and check things out and see what I can do. But anyway, it's a little cooler here than it was down south, but it's getting warmer every day, and looking forward to the meet and greet that's coming up. That should be a good time. So anyway, I'll get back to that, and everybody have a great day. W2EM, Chuck and Lancaster.
Alrighty, Chuck. Yeah, the meet and greets, I enjoy seeing the pictures of everybody getting together, too, as well. One of these days, maybe I'll make it to one of those here from the Midwest. Chuck, have a good morning. It is the bottom of the hour. We got another half an hour left of the second cup. Let's go to Terry, AE7MR.
City, Oregon. A little quick story. When I was young, I had one of those reel-to-reel tape recorders, and that's portable. And my dad borrowed it to go to a Latter-day Saints regional conference, and he didn't learn how to turn it on with the record button. I got in so much trouble. Oh my goodness! All you can hear is "in the white room with black curtains." They was talking about tape recorders. I haven't pulled that one out of my head in a long time. Anyway, here in Junction City, Oregon, I just listened to the Breakfast Cheers on KFUK-R Echolink, and I've been listening along for probably 2 hours here or so. The first time I caught this net was the other day, but I couldn't get in. So anyway, good to hear everybody out there. Good to hear everybody out there. This is Alpha Echo 7, Mike Romeo, Mr. Terry, and I am in Junction City, Oregon. Have a great radio day. We will listen out and talk at you later. Alpha Echo 7, Mike Romeo back. Good night, control.
Alrighty, Terry. Oh, yeah. Remember the days well. Remember the VU meter on the tape decks. The goal was to peak at 0 dB when you were recording, right around there. Have a good one, Terry. Mike, WB2GLW. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody in net WB2GLW, sunny Long Island. I have a telemedicine to deal with in about an hour, and I'm still looking for a donation of QSTs or handbooks or anything else like that for Elmer Group that I'm running on Sunday night. I'm working on that, setting them up for Sunday night. Here it is Friday at Long Island. So thanks, everybody. WB2GLW.
Well, good luck to you, Mike, with that. Hopefully you get that all squared away. I'm sure you will. Sounds fun. Have a great morning. Let's head to John, N2MLB. What say you, John? What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning, everybody. On the second cup, N2MLB here. Just a couple of shameless plugs. Later on today, heading down to Proctor PE testing session. So if anybody here in the Buffalo area is looking to upgrade, or somebody's needs to take a tech license, we're having it over at the West Seneca Christian School on Union Road in West Seneca, and I will be there along with some other PEs. So if you come down, you can just drop in. Appointment necessary, as they say. And then later on this morning, after I get done cleaning the house, I'll be operating a special event station from the WWP club call, WW0WWB. That's the radio club for the time frequencies. And so I'll be operating that on HF later on today. I'm going to start off with 15 meters, drop down to 20, and see what I can make with the club. Get the word out there for supporting the WWP. And that's about it for me today.
Thanks for taking my check-in. This is N2 Major League Baseball. Back to net control.
Morning, John. This is Dick. Hey, just wanted to remind you, and maybe you want to remind the people there in your group, that on June 20th at the Western New York meet and greet, we will be doing VE testing. I believe it's from 9 to 11. So any interest in your area with your groups down there by June 20th, I certainly hope to see you at the meet and greet as well. But I wanted to get that in. Over to you, Jeff. Thank you. This is WBTJPQ.
Comments and to MLB.
There we go. All righty. No problem. Yeah. Jump in any time. Thanks, John. MLB on your call there, your last three. We're getting ready for the College World Series soon here in Omaha, which is where the College World Series is when you watch it on TV here in Omaha, Nebraska. Have a good morning. Cedric, K5CFW. What's on your mind this morning? KC5CFW. Cedric, you still with us this morning? Nothing heard from Cedric. Scott was saying, did Sean have a comment? Sean, you have a comment this morning?
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is N2 MLB again. This comment's for Dick. Yeah, Dick, I will be there, and your ECR meet and greet has already been posted. We have a Discord server that encompasses all the local clubs here in the area, and we've posted that ECR meet and greet there for you, so hopefully you get a good turnout. I will be there along with my kids. Hopefully my daughter who's taking the test today will become a tech, and she'll be new ham shortly. So my son already is a tech, so hope to see everybody out there at the Chestnut Ridge Park, June 20th. Back to you.
Okay, John. Dick says to please RSVP, if you would, John. Just RSVP. Have a good morning. Scott, W1BIC. Good morning.
Good morning. Wonderful day here in Metro Detroit. I think I got thrown off a couple of times. I don't know exactly why, but I hope you haven't called me too many times. We're working on our HF machine, which is up in Gaylord Machine, on the 45th parallel, and it's always a challenge when you remotely all the time. So we were up there yesterday for the day, playing around with it, and we had to put some new software in the Raspberry Pi that runs the amplifier. So anyway, nice to hear everybody today. I was thinking that maybe the GM Club has a picnic in the August time frame, and we like to have as many hams as we can. So maybe we'll work on it with you and see if we want to somehow make it something that we could let people know about. Anyway, nice to hear everybody, and we'll listen out. Whiskey 1, Bravo India Charlie, back to net.
Okay. Scott, yeah, Dick said in the Zoom room, yeah, we can do that. So get with him on that. Also as well, he was mentioning in the Zoom room that you might have texted him directly or something. If you have a pen handy, the text line is 716-317-9050. Again, you probably might be scrambling for a pen. It's 716-317-9050. Use our text line to text in instead of, say, directly to Dick. and we'll get you on the log. Have a good morning, Scott. Guy, KJ5GUY. What's on your mind?
Morning, Jeff, Scott, Bill. Ow, sorry about that. I just tweaked my knee, moved it a certain way, just tweaked it. Sorry about that, guys. That sucks getting old, don't it? Anyway, it's KJ5GUY. Yeah, what's on my mind today? I can't wait. I've been chomping at the bit on this one. I had to pull the trigger on getting a new shoulder mic for a new HT I got here. Bofang UV32 DMR HT. So, went ahead and pulled the trigger on a Kenwood. I think it's a KM45 Delta, I think is the model number. It's supposed to be a pretty good one. I think I got a pretty good deal for about $45. And, looks to be the real deal, not like a cheap Chinese copy or anything like that. So, we'll see how that works. Throw it on this radio and see how she sounds. Unfortunately, that's the thing with the Bofangs. They kind of sound low. So, hopefully the speaker mic will help out here. So back over to you, Net Control, and everybody have a great day. I think I'm going to get back to my second cup myself momentarily here. So everybody have a great weekend. Kilo Juliet 5 Golf Uniform Yankee. And saying bon matin and laissez bon temps rouler.
Alrighty, guy. Yeah, it's, what was I going to say? I completely forgot. I'm looking at my battery here on this one. I've got a radio in the background. Oh, yeah, I have a UV32 in the analog flavor. They make that in an analog and a DMR. I have that UV32 as well. Just analog. Big green radio. Have a good one, guy. Bob, WD8PIC. Good morning.
Good morning. Hopefully I'm making it okay here. Let's see. Oh, good, I am. I'm on a different repeater. This repeater just got back on the air, so I thought I'd give it a whirl this morning. Doing good. Enjoying the net this morning. For anybody that's going to check into the 40 meter net tomorrow, please, hello to you. My dipole, I still don't have the, I've got a fan dipole for 40, 20, 17, and 10. And then the 40 also doubles with a trap as 75. It's a full-size 40 and then a trap and then 75. Well, anyway, that's all been taken care of, but it isn't back up on the roof yet, so. And I would want to check into the NIST. I use WWV all the time, and I also use the 60 kilohertz for the what they call atomic clocks, and they work out real well too. So anyway, everybody have a great rest of the day, and for anybody that's doing the net tomorrow, I won't be there, unfortunately. I'll try to be there as soon as I get the antenna back up, so. Let's have fun with the low bands. I'm on 2 and 440 right now. And for the other person, if they're still listening for DMR, I don't like any of the digital modes except for All-Star because they all introduce some wateriness into the audio, some more than others, but they all do. And I'm an audiophile, being totally blind, so I like my All-Star. If I ever get a node or whatever, that's what I'm gonna get. Back to Net Control, WD8PIC, Sylvania, Ohio, where it is lightly raining and about 40 degrees. Go ahead.
All right, Bob. Sounds good. Hey, you have yourself a good weekend. Good luck with all that. I switched radios. Hopefully my audio didn't change too much. It's the Quansheng is the flavor right now. Let's go to Roger. RHE. Good morning.
Morning, Jeff. Thank you for serving a second cup, November 4, Rumiceleco. I had a Sony microset recorder that I used when making ocean passages to record weather reports, so I would avoid situations where I would have to declare Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Happy Beltane or May Day, a holiday for many, where the sun in the northern hemisphere is halfway between the vernal equinox and the summer solstice. Many believe today is the beginning of summer, Jeff, as Litha, but June 21st is the summer solstice, or mid. As my brother Ben knows, around St. John's Baptist Day, November 4, Roger Hem Enthusiast, return to net.
Very interesting, Roger. You're always good with the information in the morning. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, we've still got another almost, a month and 3 weeks before the official first day of summer. Have a good one, Roger. Let's go to Gil, K4, GDSU. This time, Gil. Good morning.
Good morning, and to answer the brew question, I never got to, yes, of course. Recorded plenty of things on cassettes. Unfortunately, I got tied up in work before you guys got down to me on the list. But looking forward to a weekend. You were talking about weather. It's starting to here already in Florida. Nights are still comfortable, though. I haven't gotten to the worst of that. Matter of fact, I'm running out this afternoon to pick up a fan for a friend whose RV's air conditioning went out, and they're struggling a little bit, so I thought it'd be nice to pick up a fan for them. Other than that, looking forward to, I guess about 8 weeks from now, coming up to New York, hopefully finding a little cooler weather than we have down here. Back to you, K4GDS.
All right, Gil. Yeah, well, we're ready for it up here for sure. We've been enjoying some pleasant days already for quite a while, but started out with freeze warnings, but we're going to get up just under 70 degrees. It's going to be a nice day. Gil, have a great weekend. I'm going to take 2 or 3 more here and send it back to Dave to put a bow on it and wrap it up. Let's go to Dave, WB8ODF. Dave in Ypsilanti. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jeff and Scott and Dick and everybody else here on the Second Cup. Quashang, that's how you pronounce it, quashang? I'm holding one in my hand here, and it was gifted to me from my friend Press, W2PW, and I turned it on, but I haven't really played with it. Do you like this HT, Jeff?
I do, Dave. I don't know if it has good audio. It probably sounds fine as the other radio that I normally use during the net. Yeah, this is the K5. I guess it has air bands. I bought it, Dave, because I initially wanted the air bands, and now I don't listen to it. And the air band, the oscillator on the air band on it isn't quite as good as the FM, so it kind of sounds funny listening to the air band on it. But it's a good radio. It's got the big yellow display on it I'm looking at right now. It seems to work good for a low-priced HT. And yours sounds real good, too. Anything else, Dave?
No, sir, just that. That's the only thing that was on my mind. It was weird that you brought it up because I had it in my hand, and I was trying to ask anybody if they've ever heard of these, if they liked them. But I will thank Press again for the gift. This is Dave, WB8ODF. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, Dave. Yeah, when it first came out, it was kind of all the rage because you could change the firmware in it and put in the waterfall in it and all this other stuff in an HT. Put a waterfall in the display for an HT. It was pretty interesting. For the bands, the 8 or 10 bands that it picks up. Can't transmit on all of them, though. Dave, have a good morning. I'll take this one and send it over to Dick. Eric, KR4LHC. Good morning. Making sure I wasn't keying with somebody. K4LHC, Eric, are you with us? Going once, going twice. Well, nothing heard from Eric. He must have had to go. He came in by the text line. Well, that wraps it up for me. I'm glad I could sit in for Vicky. She's out on assignment for the second cup here as well. Everyone have a great morning. I'm going to send it over to Dick and have him wrap up the second cup. Everybody have a great day. KE0GKF, over to you, Dick.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for sitting in. It's been fun. And I like the audio on that radio better. I knew you changed radios. I do like it. How do I use it in the net? 2 thumbs up for me, so I use it on the net. And we were talking about the meet and greet back with, I forgot who that was. We are having a meeting at 7 o'clock in our Zoom room on Monday, May 4th, this coming Monday. The meet and greet, if you're in Western, well, it doesn't matter if you're in Western New York, but if you're coming, we can always use help. So stop in at 7 o'clock East Coast time into our Zoom room. I'm sure we'll find something for you to do. We have that need to be assigned a little bit. So 7 o'clock Monday night in our Zoom room. If you're at all interested, I just sent out a Groups IO reminder. Mr. Tim in Gowanda, New York, KD2IWN. Good morning. This is Dick, WB2JPQ.
Well, good morning, Dick, and Jeff, and everybody back there holding up the fort. You know, I just wanted to expand and seem to touch on a near and dear topic this morning. It's Cassette, you know, like at RQ 711S taking tape. I had the bright yellow version. That was my first one as a kid. My brother had the gray one. We got him for Christmas. And was, oh my God, that just started the madness of tape recording in the early 70s. And just kept going. My friend that lives behind me, we literally had an intercom system. He had it in his bedroom down in his basement. He had a huge bedroom. He took speaker wire with an 1/8-inch jack and he ran it out of his window through the trees, all the way through the backyard, and it came all the way to my house and into my bedroom, and we would I still have all my tapes. I still have just about every tape I ever own. I should go through them just to make sure they still work. I know I have a tape with my crackly teenage voice on there, which is great. I keep that for posterity. Just had a ball with my friend had a picture reel-to-reel, real fancy one. Huge, it was expensive. That he had gotten from his dad, and we used to record with that too. Just so much fun with that tape. That was a great topic. You really seemed to touch on some good stuff on Memory Lane Friday. And it's a big one. I can't stop thinking about it. I know I'll go home and listen to tapes tonight. For the rest of the weekend, Sabres game tonight. Go Sabres. Let's go. Let's get rid of Boston here. And tomorrow morning, bright and early, I'll be up turkey hunting with my son. And that's going to be the big thing on the weekend. And then that same afternoon tomorrow, I got a birthday party for my niece out in Pendleton. So busy day, busy weekend as always, and good to hear you guys. Thanks for it, and thanks for making me walk down memory lane. And it'll hold this the rest of the day, but that's okay. 73, thanks, Dick. I'm hoping to be at the meet and greet this June, and I'm like to make stuff for the raffle and stuff. So more to come. KD2IWM 73.
Thank you, Tim. Hope you can make it as well. Love to see you again this year. And this was a Vicky question this morning. She popped this question in. She was on the road on her assignment this morning at 6:30 in the morning, or before that, actually. I think I talked to her on the air about before 6. So I think that's where the question came from. We refined it a little bit, so it was her question. So kudos to her. I didn't put that in the box. I guess I should have. And there's a station on the W4MOT in Fort Lauderdale. Sounds like you're beaconing APRS. To whoever's beaconing APRS in the Fort Lauderdale area, we're going to have to take that repeater off. We have a lot of trouble getting that back connected. So if you're in the Fort Lauderdale area, check the other side of your radio. Make sure you're not beaconing APRS, because somebody is the W4MOT in Fort Lauderdale. Let's go on to Paul, Winchester, Virginia, KG4WHO. Good morning. Oh, wait a minute, that's Danny. Why does it say Paul?
Well, good morning, Dick. How you doing this morning? Good to hear everybody on the second cup. I didn't catch the question. I'm just enjoying listening. It's good hearing everybody. I got my buddy Adam. He's at work on my link. He's on the listening via the Echo link on the computer screen, so that's pretty cool. And I'm glad to hear you guys out here this morning. Really enjoyed that astronomical info that the fella dropped, and just glad to hear everybody. Good morning. KG4WHO, back net.
I have a question. Why on the Quest program are you Dan or Danny, and when you're in real life you're Paul?
Well, Dick, that's an old question. It's gone back most of my life. But the short answer is, my middle name's Daniel, and my dad's middle name was Shirley. So growing up, I went by, he was Paul Shirley, and I was Paul Daniel. So if you said Paul, no one really understood who you were talking to, so I got named Daniel. And then he was a building inspector for the county, so I went by Daniel, and then, but the paperwork has me as Paul. So any formal reading of my name, I guess, is Paul, but then if I introduce myself, most circumstances, I'm Daniel. So there you go. Good morning.
Looking at the log sheet, looks like Scott's about ready to drop the hammer on Daniel for our log sheet. So if that's okay with you, we're gonna rename you Daniel as far as the East Coast is concerned. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, I'll sign next to the line.
All right. It will be Daniel from now on. Good morning, Dan. Another quester, N2 ZWR.
Good morning, Dick. Thanks for I'll be fast. I just wanted to jump in quickly and wish everyone a happy, healthy, and safe weekend. And as you said, yes, I'm enjoying the Quest program. Thanks everybody who's running it and the hard work you guys are putting in. 73s, everybody. Have a great weekend. N2 ZWR. Back to you, Dick.
Earlier this morning, Vicky's up to 105, if you can believe that. I know it's not a contest, but she's given a lot of points out. 105. Angelo, good morning. N5UXT. I've talked to you more this past week than I have in the last 10 years. Angelo might have been mobile. He might have got to work. You still with me, Angelo? N5UXT? I guess not. Maybe he's gone. He might have been mobile. Well, thanks, everybody. It was fun having Jeff in here this morning.
And Scott, thank you, Bill, and everybody that helped out for the last 3 hours here on the Friday edition of the Morning Brew and the second cup. So see everybody tonight at 8 o'clock for our youth net. Come support our youth at 8 o'clock. Have a good weekend, everybody. This is WB2JPQ.